What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another just get to the point info segment for our No Fear Home Buying team. My name is Rick Thomas, licensed real estate appraiser, 20 years in the valuation game, coming at you with insider tips and tricks for proper valuation of real estate, arming you with the tools and knowledge necessary to execute a real estate transaction with boldness, confidence, and with no fear.
Now, there's a set of questions I can pretty much count on being asked during an appraisal assignment, but there is one particular question that seems to be coming up quite a bit lately. It's even starting to show up within the social circles that I hang out in, and that's whether or not now's a good time to buy a home. So, from a licensed real estate appraiser with 20 years in the game, the answer? It depends. Now you're probably like, dude, come on, it depends? I got a minute invested in your video and that's the best you got for me is it depends? I read the title to this video. You're supposed to make this bold, informed, expert prediction about the housing market, and you're coming at me with, it depends? But yeah, seriously, in terms of whether or not now's a good time for you to buy a home, it depends on a handful of things. But mostly it's going to depend on your personal financial situation, your personal homeowner expectations, and what's going on in that localized housing economy you're looking to buy a home in. Now, there's no one out there that can come up with every possible financial situation and marry it up with every possible combination of homeowner expectations, mash it up, and try to create some sort of formula that ends up making some sort of leading indicator of when's a good time to buy a home in every town, city across of America. But what we can do is make the observation that you're on YouTube seeking information. And that's a solid one. You're taking steps towards becoming an informed home buyer. So what I'd like to do is offer to you by saying, let's go one step further and start to become super critical about who and where we're getting our information from. Now, that's not a blast on YouTube. It's a phenomenal platform to get information. And there truly are legitimate real estate professionals on here giving information. And that's great. That's who we want to find. But when we find these rare experts, we want to use a little judgment and separate them into their appropriate categories. There's two. In one group, you're going to have people looking at the national housing economy. In the other, we have experts looking at a localized housing economy. In terms of a national outlook, I myself am more likely to go to the Federal Reserve website. I'm more likely to go to a government-sponsored mortgage giant like Fannie and Freddie Mac's website. I'm more likely to go to major institutional banking websites to get facts and data. If I'm on YouTube to get opinions on the national housing market, it's for entertainment purposes. It's opinions. It's not facts and data. The overwhelming majority, sure, are real estate professionals giving their opinion on the housing economy. But fair is fair. Are real estate appraisers, real estate agents, real estate investors, are they economists? Now, it's a big world. I wouldn't be surprised somewhere down the road, down in the comments, someone's going to show up saying, I'm giving opinions on YouTube, and you should know that I spent 13 years as the chief economist of a housing division at one of the largest banks of America. I left 7-8 years ago and started my own real estate firm, and now we're the #1 sales office in the entire state. And by the way, I've got a PhD in economics from Harvard. Well, you got me. And if you exist, please leave a comment down below because I'd like to subscribe and follow you. But I think you guys get where I'm going with this. So I'm a big advocate of those looking at the national housing economy. It's worthwhile to get a temperature read on what's going on at that high level, but you truly are going to get your most bang for your buck in terms of collecting information from category 2, the group looking at a local housing economy. And this is where real estate professionals are worth their weight in gold. But once again, once we look at this group, we want to use another layer of judgment and separate. We want to take out those experts who are giving sound information, but those experts who are in other housing markets that aren't in the housing market that we're looking to buy a home in. Ideally, we're going to find a YouTube channel with a subject matter expert in the very town or city that we're looking to buy a home in, at the very least within the same region. Super critical, and I'd like to give you a quick example why. CoreLogic, one of the leading real estate figureheads in the industry right now, ran their own independent study on the 2008 crash. What they were doing was identifying the percentage in decline state by state on real estate values. I'll leave the link down below because it's worthwhile seeing this map of the US with percentages assigned to each state. And in the worst case scenarios, you saw the 40s and 50s and 60% declines in value. Super brutal. But then again, in different parts of America, you saw things like 2% declines in value, 7, 9% declines in value. And while these were declines in value, they weren't 40 or 60% declines in value. And it gives a good example of how real estate is localized. How a local housing economy responds to the local economy and the broader US economy is individualized. And that's why it's so important that we're getting information from experts within the housing market we're looking to buy a home in.